So the first challenge I had that I believe didn't make me profitable from the onset was greed. That is the first one when I look back that I realized that this is the reason why I wasn't making this. Because first of all, I was more taken by what people are posting on social media. I was taken more about what people were saying, developed or advanced people, without really looking into this is not a one-day process.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also don't forget to turn on that notification bell in order to be notified whenever I drop a new video. Let me just give a shout out to Octa before I even tell you guys who am I with today. As I said, I'm here to change the industry and I'm bringing more females into my channel. Thank you, Octa, for making this possible for us, because without you guys, this couldn't have been possible. Octa is a broker that is regulated and mostly trusted 2024. Trading with friends is not only fun, but also rewarding. Octa has launched Octa Friends Contest, which offers you a chance to expand your trading network. Earn $1 per standard lot that your friends trade. And also enter draw prizes worth up to $1,500 in gift cards. So you simply join with these 4 simple steps. 1. Get your referral link under the invite a friend section, as you can see on the screencast. 2. Share it with a friend. 3. Help your friends to start up. Tell them to sign up using your referral link, and also enter trade positions of any volume. Lastly, wait for the price draw. The minute your friends execute that trade, you'll have both automatically entered the prize draw. So also it doesn't just end right there. You, as the one who referred your friend using your referral link, will be earning up to $1 per standard lot that your friends open, and also an opportunity to win $1,500 worth in gift cards. And your friend, what will your friend be earning? First things first, 100% bonus. Secondly, an opportunity to win $100 worth in gift cards. Thirdly, spread cards during the campaign period for the following symbols: NAS 100, US 30, Euro JPY, USD ZAR, AUD USD, and USD CAD. The campaign is starting from the 21st of October and only ending on the 10th of November. Make sure to hit that link in my description below if you haven't downloaded the Octa app, and also start sharing your referral link from today in order to be able to win the draw prizes and earn from that. So, hey girl.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. This girl is hiding, guys. This girl is hiding. She's a trader, but she's hiding. So tell us more about yourself. I don't even want to tell them what's your name. I want you to give us a short brief about yourself.
Oh, wow. Feels like a real interview.
No, man.
Okay, so I am Lela Tati. That's how people know me. And I've gotten myself the FX Queen name along the journey. And I've been trading since 2017, but wasn't profitable at first. Only got profitable at a later stage. But yeah, I'm gold digging the markets as we speak.
I love that. I love that.
Thank
so you're saying you started trading 2017?
Correct.
Like, what transpired for you to hear about Forex? How did you hear about Forex?
Okay, so I was job hunting, and then I got a job as a sales representative for this broker, which I don't even know if it's still there at the moment or what, but that's not important. I got a job as a sales representative, and part of the job meant knowing the product, but it shifted from me just having to know the product. It went to clients asking me questions that they needed answers to, and if I didn't know how to answer them, it showed I didn't know what I was doing. Therefore, I ended up having to learn about this. And when I did, I'm glad it got me here. Yes.
So how was your learning journey? What did you start with, when it's come to learning? And yeah.
Okay, so when I first started off, I was, first of all, I am not one to shy away from my passion. I had other passions, but I was forced to do this because it was a job that was paying me. So at first I started learning about the broker products, but it shifted from there to me having to have fundamental knowledge, because someone would be like, oh, did you see what this particular instrument is doing today? And I'll be like, no, I don't know. I called you to tell you about the products we have here. And I realized that, no, I'm losing more conversions that I would have made, because the more I don't know what's really happening in the real markets, the more people will have less interest in what I have to say next. So I went as far as going onto the internet to learn a little bit, but then that wasn't helpful, because the internet has all of this information that would end up being just too much to nowhere, to be precise. So I went on to study baby pips, if I don't know if you know it.
I know it.
I learned how to trade there, and then a little bit of the knowledge that I had about the currency pairs in general came from learning a lot about investing.com news release and whatnot. Then at a later stage, then I got myself into a learning academy about trading. And after a while though, because I wasn't profitable, I just listened and learned, but it wasn't satisfying the knowledge that I needed. It was satisfying the idea of me saying, oh, I learned something. I opened a trading news thing today. That was the case. But as time went on, when I started being serious about it, that's also when I started seeing a change, because I was blowing accounts. I was blowing accounts.
Obviously, you were definitely going to blow without knowing what you're doing.
Of course, I thought at first it was just a matter of you just press a buy or a sell, that's it. I didn't know that there's deeper meaning or there's deeper action into this. Didn't know a lot of things, but the more I invested my time into it and the more I hated being defeated, the more I was like, at some point, even though I had revenge trading, I was like, I even need to avenge myself for not winning, even when I was revenging for myself.
That's good. So as you are saying that you went in deep in order to understand what was Forex all about, in order also to like be able to explain to people, like if you were given a chance to like explain what is Forex in a minute or two, what would you say? What is Forex?
So besides for me, Forex being a complete game changer, the normal and noble way that people know Forex to be is just the exchange of foreign currencies. But for me, it's a deeper level in the sense that Forex is a way one can make a living without having any different skill from the one that they already have, of just having your brain being able to work and think for you. Secondly, having all these gadgets around you and the access, be it its internet access, be it its access to people that are building you when you're with them, because you can be with 5 people with all the devices you have or all the access you have, but they wouldn't be building you and giving you the knowledge that you need. So if you've got the right people around you, because another thing with Forex, it is not it is not a no man's island. You've got to be around people like you were doing with your maths homeworks back in school. Definitely. Your maths assignments, you couldn't do those equations all by yourself. So if you've got access, and my beautiful thing about Forex is that it is not discriminative. Whether you are from a less fortunate background, whether you're from a rich background, as long as when you say you want to be in the foreign exchange industry, you just have to know that this is for you as well. There's no better person than the other. So that's what it means to me. It means a door that is open for everyone. It's up to you that if you enter through that door, you take it seriously or you don't.
That's deep. That's deep. So you'll heard, guys. You either take the door, that entrance of that door, or you don't, in order to change your life. So also, as you now know how to trade, what would you say are the challenges that you faced more when it comes to your Forex journey?
So the first challenge I had that I believe didn't make me profitable from the onset was greed. That is the first one. When I look back, that I realized that this is the reason why I wasn't making this, because first of all, I was more taken by what people are posting on social media. I was taken more about what people were saying, developed or advanced people, without really looking into, this is not a one-day process. It's a process. And as Rome wasn't built in one day, also those people didn't just become profitable overnight. So where I came from was a point of, if I were to really fix a couple of things that I did wrong in the past, I would work on my emotional intelligence. I would work on my greed, and most importantly, my impatience.
How long did it take you to be profitable?
I started trading in 2017. I started being profitable in 2021 mid-year. That is when I started. But recently, from 2022 until now, I changed to trade gold because I was trading currency pairs the whole time.
Okay, so what made you transition from trading currency pairs to gold?
Yo, there's this one time there was a news release.
I love that.
You're just taking me back a bit. There was this one time there was a news release, and I think there was this favorite trader. He's called the Trading Geek on YouTube. He's not famous on the socials, other platforms, but on YouTube, that guy can teach to the core. He does all the basics. So he just gave a signal. Like he was like, I'm giving out a signal. I was like, I'm going to deposit money now. And when he gave me that signal, it was like, it is a gold signal, not my usual instrument. I was still open to take the signal. And it went his way, and I made over 100 pips. I was like, I'm staying here. I want to be a gold digger. So that is how I actually shifted from currency pairs to gold.
And then you never looked back?
I never looked back because there's a lot of things for me that I found more interesting and more stabilizing in my journey of trading when I started trading gold. Because first of all, the supply and demand strategy, some people may look down on it, honestly, but it is also part of the three major factors that move the markets. If you look at supply and demand as a beginner, it's easier for you, especially if you understand it, to at least know, okay, this is the direction the market is going. And when you know the direction the market is going, it's easier as well for you to know, okay, this is a buy or a sell. In that way, it will also take you gradually to the other parts of analysis that would help you with your trading journey.
I love the language, guys. You see, when you're speaking to a Forex trader, you are able to hear the language, not your Bombay mentors, you're able to hear the language. So just for a beginner, let's say a beginner doesn't know anything about supply and demand. What would you tell them? What is supply and demand? Just tell them.
Okay, for me, and as far as I understand,
use supply and demand.
Awesome. As far as I understand supply and demand, and as far as I've used it to be a profitable trader that I am today, supply and demand is usually supply aggressive selling, then demand is aggressive buying, meaning on a demand zone, the market is aggressively going up. There's a lot of momentum even in the candles. I wouldn't really want to dwell much on the colors of the candles because you can customize them to your own liking. Yes. So if the market is going up aggressively and there's less rejection, especially on the wicks, then you can say when you see a lot of probably dodgy candles, because they also have a lot of solidity. If you see a lot of dodgy candles, a lot of momentum in demand candles, then you'd say that is a buying or a demand zone. And if you see a lot of selling, which is you see through the aggressive selling with the markets going down, less wicks, less weak rejection, then you can also be like, okay, this is my supply zone. So there's a lot of momentum. The sellers are coming in, which is also the smart money concept part where the smart money comes in when the banks are taking over the markets. So either on a demand or a supply zone, you would just see according to the momentum who's really taking over the markets at that moment.
Okay. Yo, this is deep, guys. This is deep information. Take notes. Banana my notes. So how would you say it's currently going for you now?
Oh, at the moment, honey. Oh, I could just even feel the back of my hair standing. First of all, I was in a completely different industry that I was so passionate about. I wasn't making money because the places I used to stay, I did it for over 6 years. And I don't remember being able to afford an apartment for myself. I don't remember being able to transport myself to even travel abroad. Actually, my first local flight in South Africa was through a Forex trade. So for me, it has been going quite well, and it has given me, some recognition. But the main thing for me, more than anything, it has also helped me learn more about myself, because there's always that thing, God, give me millions and see how I can behave. No, I'm not saying I've got millions. Guys, let's tone it down a bit.
She's not saying that, guys.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that it also gave me a sense of understanding myself when I had money than when I didn't have it. Because the more I make money now, it's like the more I also get to understand myself. I get to also learn to be more humble. I also get to learn to understand that that wasn't a good place. And if I'm working towards going somewhere now, I should also make sure that it never takes me back to where I fought so hard to get out of.
Definitely.
Yes.
So what strategy do you use?
Oh, I use the supply and demand strategy without a doubt. And then not all the time, sometimes I use the bouncing strategy, because for me, the bouncing strategy also helps with looking back on the previous trades that were taken. For example, I think I even said this at my other presentation when I went to the traders fair recently, that the bouncing strategy of a news release that was made back in 2008 was repeated the exact same way on the same Friday of that NFP news release. It was a sell back then, it was still a sell even then in 2021. So it means that the market has a tendency. It never goes up forever, it never goes down forever. Along the way, it has to take a point and turn. So within that turning point, as a trader, you know that if you, the gold, you were busy with a selling trade probably before 2:30, the market is likely to be a buy trade after, then I can enter for it then. But it's quite a deep process, as you know. It's not always the case. But all I'm saying is that it's not going to be buying the whole day or the whole year. It's also not going to be selling the whole day or the whole year. Hence, for me, the supply and demand strategy also comes in there to also say, yes, you want to go into this trade using a bounce strategy, but what does the supply and demand of the current market say to you? Then based on that technical analysis, of course, including other analysis forms, which is fundamentals, I'm able to make an informed decision and also do proper risk management.
Would you consider yourself a technical trader or a fundamental trader, or you trade both?
I consider myself a very technical trader because I literally focus on the charts more than anything. The other time, as we discussed earlier before the podcast, I don't really trade major news myself because I also don't feel emotionally fit, and also it's a lot of chaos and emotion, and also liquidity is at its high at that moment because the markets know everyone is going in. The markets have eyes, and the eyes of the market are called liquidity, and they would just be there to just come and stop everyone out, then go to the direction either person wanted. So for me, the whole time, whenever I go into the markets, I go with that mentality of, in whatever I'm doing, I'm just going to try and use my technical analysis more than anything.
Definitely. So as I usually say that on my side, I don't trade news simply because they just bring volatility in the market. In most cases, they don't change the direction.
Yeah, they don't.
So which makes me want to ask this question. As you said, on your strategy, you use supply and demand. Can you kindly take us through your trading plan? For example, like take us through on how do you start analyzing? What are your confirmations before even entering a trade?
Okay. I'm a very basic trader. Like people would even be like, is she even trading for real? I'm very basic. So for me, before I enter into a trade, I firstly had to take time before I get into the chart. I firstly had to take time and understand the kind of trader I am. That is very important in also understanding how the markets move for people like you or for traders like you. So first of all, I made sure that I know what trader I am. I'm a day trader. Intraday trader, if you can say. I'm not a long-term or long stock holder kind of person. No. I just want to in and out. That's it. So from where I am, people would say I'm using scalping, but it's not. It's just that by 8 a.m., I know I should be out of the markets if I'm a day trader. Because after that, the market
by 8 a.m., you'll have open at around what time?
Oh, honey, money doesn't sleep. Okay. I'm trading by 2 a.m. if I have to because gold closes at 11 and after 11, around 12, South African time on my side, it's opened. So if you had a trade running at 11, you'd see the trades are disabled or the markets are closed.
Definitely.
But after 11, which is at 12 midnight going forward, the trades are back on. So at that time, that's when I'm sitting,
when
waiting.
We are sleeping, you are waiting.
Money doesn't sleep. And I also know I don't have your emotions. You guys can withstand it during the day or in the morning. I know I cannot. And I also love my sleep. So what I do is around those times, I look into the markets. I look at the 4-hour time frame first, check the direction of the market, and then go to the 1-hour time frame. Because remember, a whole day trade is made out of 6 4-hour candles. So after checking the 4-hour time frame, I go now and look at the 1-hour time frame. After seeing, this is, let's say, for example, I'm going to go on a buy trade. When I'm going into a buy trade, let's say I've already confirmed that this is a demand zone, that the market is going up. So I firstly check the last highest price the market went to.
Checking it on your 4 hour?
On the 1 hour first, because I usually check the direction of the market on the 4 hour, but I go on to the 1 hour for anything I do, because the 4 hour could be too long for the size of the account I have or someone has. And by the time it gets, because it will definitely get to that, but if it gets there after a very long time, you would have even have blown the account by then. So I check the direction of the market on a 4 hour. On the 1 hour, I've already maybe figured out that this is a buy trade. And then I check the last highest price that the market went to before it rejected or before it reversed. When I get there, I just mark that particular take profit, that particular price as my take profit, that if I enter for a trade, I am going to go up to this point and get out. And then looking at my entry will be where the markets reversed. Let's say that there's a point whereby the markets were on a supply, and then at that particular point, they turned and had more momentum on a buy. So I'm going to wait for it on a 15-minute time frame to go to the same level. Either I set a buy limit, alternatively, which is what I suggest, you'd rather do it manually, because it can still go beyond that. Even though it was a given that at this point the market goes on a buy, it could still be against you. So what I do is, after checking the entry price, I set at least 3 prices below my entry point to avoid, I don't want to make my stop loss too tight. At the same time, I don't want it to be too wide, but I want it to be to a level that at least I can take loss when it comes to. And then from that, I now move on to my 15-minute time frame. I see, okay, my analysis is good. If sometimes it's not, I always refer back to 4 and 1. Then if I say, okay, I'm happy with this, it's okay, then I execute on my 1-minute time frame.
1 minute?
That's where I execute, but I monitor on the 5-minute. Yeah.
But you're a day trader.
Yes.
1 minute, 5 minutes. How do we reach there?
How do we reach there? Because on my side, as I said, I'm a very basic trader. I'm very basic. I'm not one to even go and set high stop losses. I make sure that whatever I do, because I also provide signals. So when I provide signals, not every day, no, I've got my small group of people I provide to. When I provide signals, the biggest emotion that comes to me is that be sure about what you're doing. And I'm just breaking down to you my own trading plan. Definitely. When I go to give out the signal, I'm not going to say, this is what I did before before I got here. But for you, you'll just be seeing the signal and be seeing it profitable, not knowing what it took. And another thing with trading, you always need to go in with a plan. And the plan you're going in with, you mustn't abandon it once you are in the markets. Definitely. That is how I've been able to continue being profitable. I guess it's different strokes for different oaks.
All right. So any confirmations that you look out for when you're scaling down to your smaller time frames? Because I heard that you look at your supply and demand. Let's say we're at demand. What other confirmations do you look for on your smaller time frames in order to enter the trade, or you just only consider supply and demand? So the confirmations I look at mostly is the ones of the entry price, where the market reversed to be in a demand when it was on a supply. That is where I speak about patience, which is I would just put my mark there. I put a triangle on the indicators. I put a triangle from that price to where the market will get to the same price with that candle, and then I take my buy limit. So you're saying you put it on the indicators? The
indicators that I use.
Okay, you use indicators?
Yes, I have to use an indicator because...
Why are you saying you have to?
Well, on my side, I have to because I can't keep in my mind. Let's say maybe I would say on 25.56, that is where I'm going to take my buy on gold. And then I leave the charts for some time. Then when I come back, I would have forgotten it was even 25.56. But if I left my indicator there, it's still going to take me back, oh, this is where you were supposed to enter. Okay, how do indicators work? Take me through that, because I don't want to lie. I've never used indicators, and I don't even think I'll ever use indicators. Don't worry, you're not the only one. You're not the only one, because also people use trend lines. I don't use trend lines. I know about them because part of learning, but yes, I feel like they're not part of what I can do when it comes to my trades. So the only indicator, which is the one I even mentioned now, is the rectangular indicator, which is if you are opening from this point, your trade, or if you are wanting to open a trade at this point, but you want to wait for the market to retest back to that level before you take the trade. For me, it marks that point that when the buy limit is here, or if you want to do it manually, if you see the market at this level, take that buy.
Okay, so can I ask you another question? Like, would you say you are still able to trade without the indicator?
Because of the patience part, I feel like I'm still able to trade without it, because I also get impatient even with it sometimes. Like I would have it there and be like, no, like the market is still continuing to go up. I can't wait for more time for it to come back down. What if it never comes back down? That's another question. That's why I'm like, okay, I see the indicator, let me just take my trade and get out. That's what I also do sometimes.
Okay, so and then how do you manage your risk?
My risk, I use risk management, first of all. Secondly, I keep my lot size to a minimum. And I would also say, as long as someone's account is a suggestion, not an advice, please, this is for educational purposes. As long as your account is below $200, I'm not saying people with above that should not do or should not take this suggestion if they want to. Yes, but what people can do is if your account is below $200, keep your lot size at 0.01. Because the same way you're thinking that you're going to win this trade, the trade could go against you and you would lose more when you're expecting to win more. And there are very, very bad trades that I've also experienced as a trader, whereby I had an account less than $200, and while I was there, the market would just like all the way up. That long candle, maybe on news release, that up spike or down spike, I would end up losing a whole lot more because I kept my lot size higher. And then again, my stop loss is always at a level of how much I'm willing to risk. Because
So
I don't
how
want
much
to.
do you usually? How much are you usually willing to risk?
At least 5% of what I've got, because I want to make 20% or more. In that case,
5% of the initial balance.
Yes. I always want to lose 5% at least.
Do you think with 0.01 you can lose the 5%, or depending with how wide is your stop loss?
Well, I think sometimes I did and I have, but in other moments, I also allow myself to lose more, because there are also days when I'm like, the markets are not really volatile, and it's also a matter of, I can hold this trade for
Why would you
long.
allow yourself to lose more than 5% of your initial balance?
that
Or it's
happens,
something that is accumulating?
it is something that's accumulating, because on the other hand, I would do that when I've had a very good week of trading, or when I've had a very nice
And then
trade.
psychology starts.
That's when the psychology starts. Yes, you're like, all right, you've made so much money. Like I feel like I'm on 20K or 10K rents now. Maybe I can just increase the risk, like more money is coming, like I feel moneyed, you understand? So that's how it increases, but I always try to minimize it, because there's also that hope that if I'm losing this much, it's a booyah, it's going to come back.
It's going to come back.
Yes, but sometimes I just need to swallow the hard pill when I've made a loss, that, okay, this is a losing trade, I need to get out.
So how do you how do you deal with your losing streak?
So far, so good. I would say I've also taken it upon myself to stop being stubborn. And also part of understanding my losing streak is that not every day is for trading. So when I've made loss, and I'm someone that journals my trades all the time, whether it's a winning trade or a losing trade, it also helps me understand what I did good when I was able to win, and what I could improve that is going to stop me from losing. Not that anyone ever stops losing, really, but it's a matter of minimizing it.
The losses.
So from where I go about it, I go from, okay, I've lost maybe a certain amount of money. Let me stay away from the markets. Let me go back to the drawing board. Let me go back to my notes. What did I do wrong? And I'd also sometimes realize that you didn't do anything wrong, but remember that note that you spoke about greed? You just became too greedy. Then I'm like, okay, I need to calm down. I go back, and maybe I have a trading plan, and then when I get into the market, I don't follow it. I sit down, take a breather, even if it's a 2-day, 3-day break, or even some people take months. There's no equation to how long you should take away from the markets, but that's how I manage mine. Sometimes I just stay away from the markets to also see where I stand with trading as it is, as much as I'm a trader. But am I trading for problems? Am I trading to be a pro trader? Do I want this long term? Or I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it? This also gives me time to self-introspect. And it's very funny that every time I get back into the markets, I'm much better than I was before I left.
Is it?
Yeah, it helps me.
Like, do you advise other people, like, when they are facing a losing streak, to step back off the market, like, not to check the market, to take that breather, whether it's for a week or so?
I definitely would, because part of the reason why we've got failed traders, it is not lack of funds, it is not lack of skill, it's lack of emotional intelligence. Because if you lose money, there is the psychology part. The psychology part is we will talk about it.
Okay.
But the emotional part is, well, you can feel your heart beating fast sometimes when the trade is going.
Yes.
So the emotional intelligence part is the ability to stay away from the markets. Not necessarily, but when you are trading and staying away from the markets, first of all, you are not going to be angry at the markets. You're not going to feel sorry for yourself. Instead, you're going to look into ways that you can improve yourself.
But don't you think that also causes a setback as the market conditions change every now and then? So obviously, after taking that breather, when you come back, it'll be like another condition.
It doesn't on the end that I'm coming from.
Okay,
because
on your
I'm
end.
not saying leave the markets. I'm saying go and learn and see what you missed, come back better. It's like being a sports person, an athlete. Just because you're not on the racetrack, it doesn't mean you're not training on the sidelines. You're going to come back and do it, but better this time, because this pressure is different. It's like when you're on a demo account. When you're on a demo account, the pressure is not the same. You can even lose thousands, you don't care, billions, you don't care. But if you're on a live market, you lose money, or even when you open a trade, you start feeling different. You start feeling a whole lot different. So if you are there and you feel like you're behaving a certain way, take time out. Go and groom yourself. Go and ground yourself. When you get back there, go back a changed person, a better thinker, more emotionally intelligent, more psychologically woke. In that way, you'll improve your skills. No, I'm not talking about someone that's going to leave the trading platform and sleep for 9 months and be like, I've got a platform. No, that's not what I'm saying. Yes, no, that's not how it works. Because even if you're away from the trades 2 days, you forget a lot of things, funny enough.
Definitely.
Yes, no, you don't have to move away from them and not what, no. You have to move to find yourself, come back stronger.
Move away from the market if you are facing a losing streak and come back stronger. When they're saying move away, they're not saying forget about the market, don't check the charts. Maybe pause a little on your live account, go back on demo. I know that thing is not nice, and forget what people will say. You're just doing it for yourself. So how will you say you taking the social media pressure when it comes to the Forex industry?
Interesting question. Funny enough, I don't have pressure, but I used to have a very big very big Instagram account for one. My Instagram was big, my TikTok was big, like it all came like a blow at the same time for me. So when that happened, I was like, okay, I feel like there's a lot of eyes watching me, but the biggest thing for me was I'm not going to lose myself. I'm not going to shift away from the goal. I wanted to be focused at all costs. But again, I'm human. It also mattered how I handled myself. Even though there were forms of here and there, what are people going to say? Do I need their approval, or should I do this based on their approval? It's also a matter of, I know who I am, not to brag, but if you go with the same mentality, just like a trading plan, if you've got a trading plan going in, that shouldn't change just because you're in there. Follow it. Follow those rules. Same applies with me. When I had the big account, unfortunately, it got hacked and I lost it. And I felt much better without it. That's one thing I can
Maybe
tell
it
you.
was God's way, don't you think so?
Oh, yeah, of course. For me, that's the thing. Everything that happens, I always look at it and be like, there's a reason for this to happen.
Definitely.
And also it happening was God's way of protecting me, not to say I don't want you to go this direction. Because when I look back, I believe something else could have been different about me by now.
Yeah,
Maybe my
definitely.
ego, maybe even the way I see things and I see life. And with that amount of following, maybe I would have gotten into things that make me want to feel like I should fit in. Oh, there's 17,000 people seeing me. I've got 100,000 views or account reach and whatever going on already. maybe I should be getting myself a mention in Monaco by now. But no, that's unnecessary pressure. And social media pressure is really unnecessary because I don't know what someone went through before they got there. I don't want to talk about what they did, but what they went through. Because I would see your breakthrough and think like, oh, things are happening for this person all of a sudden. What about the other times? What was happening with this person?
And a lot of people are too quick to judge the outcome, what they are seeing right there, but not like having to follow up on how was the process.
We don't want to follow the process. Like, come on, especially in my country. Like, come on, talent, yeah, that's what people do. Is way out, I guess.
Makes sense. So why do you think we don't have much females in the industry, and how can we inspire more females to come in the industry?
I think I'm loving your questions. There's a reason why I'm here. Okay. First of all, trading, the financial markets in general, across the continent or across the globe, these came in through men mostly. So this is a male-dominant industry as it is. And for a female to come in here and make it for themselves, it's already seeming like there's advancements here and there for this person. How did they get here? As you said earlier, you were like, gonna meet Dubulo of traders. Someone else would be like, do they even know what they are talking about? Is it even a thing? So the other problem is people should stop focusing on what are people going to say or what do people say about me. You don't also have to have a big account walking into this industry, because I think some of the things that stop females from going in is like, I mean, with the 200 rands or 200, well, $20.
We started there.
Yes, that's where it all starts off. So the first thing that I feel is the most difficult one when it comes to women being more exposed, even though, to be honest, there's a lot of women now, which is a beautiful thing than before. But I feel like for more of these women to come in, they shouldn't come in wanting to shadow somebody like, oh, my mentor so-and-so. Be like, I'm a trader myself, I'm doing this, and you are really able to do it. Yes, and we are such powerhouses because now that women have entered in this, women, oh my God, women. Now that women have entered, it's a matter of, there's a lot of change because, for one, when women are making money, not every woman, or not even that, it's a matter of when women go into trading, they're building houses. They flash cars afterwards. They do a whole lot, take care of families, give back to the community, and they teach something that you can really tell this is education, because it really took them time to learn, and they don't want anyone being responsible for their success and say, she doesn't know how to trade, I'm the reason they are there. So to answer your question, women should just let go and let God, and then for them to be successful, don't care about what people say. Find your tribe. If you know Tiran the goat is a trader, go to her. Yo, how are you? I'm struggling here. You don't even have to say you're struggling. I'm a trader. Can we have a conversation? Just like you did with me. And this is how we grow.
Definitely. So what advice will you leave with the people? If you were to give anyone who's an upcoming trader or who's trading already and not seeing success in their trading, what advice could you give them?
God, Tiran, I need an advice myself.
You don't.
Okay. So do I talk to the people?
Yes.
All right. Need a second to think this one through. How can one be a successful trader? You say, is it only to females or everyone?
Everyone.
Okay. Nice. This is how you can become a successful trader. First of all, if you want to be part of the top 1% pro traders, you need to make sure that in whatever you do, you are not doing it for other people. You're doing it for yourself. And going into trading shouldn't be because someone else is doing good, you'll definitely do good. You should be willing to put in the work. You should be willing to go in there and tell yourself that come rain, come sunshine, I'm going to sweat and work hard in this, because just so you know, the advanced traders that you know today cried at some point because of trading, gave up a couple of times before they became successful. Those Maseratis, Ferraris, those nice Rolls Royce you see, they didn't come because they just decided, oh, someone else is successful, I'm coming in today. But above all, put God first. You need that guidance.
Wow, I love that last line. Put God first in everything. So I really appreciate you coming here, taking your time, sacrificing, not opening those trades just for you to be here.
Oh,
so
no, I
we
did.
So we have a gift from me and Octa to you, just to say thank you for coming. Hoping to see more of you here.
Thank you, T. You the real goat. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Octa. This is amazing.
So we have came to the end of our podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and also give your opinions of what was just shared today, because it's just not just any information that you'll get on YouTube. Information on YouTube is scattered, but what you got today is a life changer. Nonetheless, this is Tyron the Goat, the one and only female goat in the industry, and peace out.